So, Sagittarius is our next sign. Yes, I'm aware my Scorpio video was not the best. Oh well. I'll be redoing that one once I'm finished for the rest of the signs to kind of give them the credit they deserve. So, my services for Shravan Astrology are now up actually, and if you're wanting me to take a look at how your Saturn is, what he's doing, if he's throwing a hissy fit, or if he's the happiest can be, I have a report that I can write for you, and it's going to be linked down below. And all you gotta do is just click on the button that gets into contact with me, and then we can go over that for you. And any other services that are there, you can check too. But so Sagittarius. To start, Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter Guru. And Sagittarius is obviously the sign after Scorpio. And going back with that concept that I said with Virgo, any sign that is before the sign you're looking at, so Scorpio, Sagittarius, Scorpio becomes the loss of Sagittarius. So Sagittarius loses the qualities of Scorpio, rather than being like how it was Scorpio with losing Libra, losing the ability to be able to be balanced and have like fairness and equality. Scorpio is able to go overkill or not at all. It doesn't have that sense of negotiation, if that makes sense. Now Sagittarius, going from intense dark and just being in completely down in the darkest potential ever, Sagittarius loses that darkness, loses that overkill intensity, loses that capability to be all in or all nope. Rather, now Sagittarius now is the one that actually has inspiration, a sense of hope, a sense of optimism, and a sense to guide. Because that's what Sagittarius is all about. It's about having a guidance system or something to kind of pull you out of that dark place or that dark area. That's precisely why 9th house is related to Sagittarius, and it's somewhat the same thing, but not entirely. Originally, Sagittarius was known as the sign of the alchemist. Probably thinking, but how does the alchemist have to tie with anything like that? Well, way back, when alchemy was actually was practiced and was written from people all over the world, and they were all contributing it from different countries. Alchemy is taking knowledge and interweaving it and then guiding one another, and that's what Sagittarius is. It's bringing guidances together and expand higher knowledge and wisdom. And that's why also Sagittarius represents long distance travel. Because sometimes in order for you to go and learn, sometimes you have to go a long distance, and you have a long journey ahead in order to understand divinity at its best, higher education such as postgraduate education, associate's degree, bachelor's, doctrine, PhD, all those things. Those are Sagittarius. Also, Sagittarius is the sign that everybody knows as a figure that is mutated, meaning that it can be a centaur with a bow and arrow. And of all the fire signs, Sagittarius is the most, I would say, Sagittarius is the more defensive than the other two signs. Aries is aggressive. Leo is more kind of like a more passive intimidate. Sagittarius is more easy, slow down. It has more of a defensive. And the thing also with the bow and arrow symbolism is kind of showing that the capability of finding your path, and then once you find your path, you go full speed towards it. That's the symbolism you can see with that. Sagittarius also really doesn't have much of any planets that are exalted in. I mean, there are some planets that are just like, not feeling it. And one of them, actually, ironically, is Venus. Because now you're taking the planet that's all about luxury, pleasure, beauty. Well, but the thing is, there can be beauty and creativity in other cultures and the long distance travel and going towards like the journey can be beautiful. That can perfectly be seen, but in the eyes of Venus, Venus is like, are we there yet? I'm tired of walking. Because Venus wants to just relax and then talk to people rather than walk. If it was like Venus and Gemini, okay, she's better, but the Sagittarius, she's finding beauty in morality. Not saying there's anything wrong with it, and I mean, that's definitely not a negative thing. It's just that Venus is a teacher of the Asura, which are the teacher of demons. So you're taking a worldly guru, because that's what Venus is, and you're telling her to be a teacher of divinity, which she won't say no, but she's kind of confused on how to teach it, because she'd be going about it in a way that's like, okay, so how do I teach people to enjoy luxury if I have to tell them that they have to get rid of it? I don't understand it. I don't get it. If you see the point I'm getting at. Jupiter also is being the ruler. Jupiter's main multiple sign, Jupiter feels the most comfortable there. Because Sagittarius is also a preacher. Like, preacher as in, like, if the best way I can equate it to, imagine going to one of the churches down south and how much soul they have when they go and do their services. That is Sagittarius. It has some oomph to the back of it. But also Sagittarius, believe it or not, is also the sign that is a general. You're probably thinking, but isn't that more of a Mars thing? Yes, but Sagittarius though, and you have that fiery feistiness to it. Like if you're barking an order like with ferocity to it, you kind of need to have a general's tone to like get your message across. Like say if you were to have like an Aries tone, it's quick and impulsive. Leo is more of a self-authoritative. Sagittarius is a fierce guidance that's saying, you're going to have to do this in order for you to ever think you're going to be good in life. Kind of like that. That's more of a Sagittarius flair. Best way to put it. Regarding stones, I don't really have many stones that I can think of best for Sagittarius, but I would have to say stones like Alexandrite would be one. I would have to say Tektite would be one. Moldavite's another one, if you can handle it, because that thing's intense. I probably could consider golden selenite, maybe, or I can't really remember exactly what it's called, but the yellow selenite, I can kind of see that one too. You can use Libyan gold tektite. I'm trying to think. Labradorite. I believe you can possibly consider that one too. And I have a book of stones in front of me, so that way I can kind of give some more ideas. You can even also say, for example, like there was another one on top of my head that you can use. Shaman stone. think of using that one. And one more, just so that way there's more of a variety than just like not really providing much. You can also use Cinnabar. That was the one that was on top of my head. Because Cinnabar is a stone of alchemy, but you gotta be very careful because it is toxic if you put it in your mouth. So please don't put it in your mouth. The part of the body that Sagittarius has dominion over. Okay, now we're not gonna be getting as suggestive. Okay. Excuse me, Mr. Chair. So, Sagittarius mainly rules below the waist, like here. And then also kind of just like in this general area to like the upper legs down to right where the knees are. Because the knees is the next sign of Capricorn. And like what I said, there's no planets that are really exalted or debilitated in Sagittarius. There are some planets that get kind of confused, like Mercury, because now you're telling an everyday like a teacher of everyday knowledge and learning and education to tell them how to now logically teach religion. And you're telling someone who can move very fast in a short period of time to go a long distance very fast and come back. He's going to be very confused. Sagittarius is also the sign of pilgrimage, so anything that is a long-term religious ceremony, like a pilgrimage, like going to one temple and then going to another temple and then going to another temple, that being a pilgrimage, that's Jupiter. And Jupiter also, well, obviously, Jupiter also represents your religious ceremonies, so like church services, that is also Sagittarius. And if you have a damaged placement of where Sagittarius is at, or there's any kind of malefic influence on Sagittarius, it can kind of affect everything that Sagittarius represents. Say for an example, if you have, let's put K2 in there. K2 is that planet that's meh about everything. Because he's like, I've already done this, why am I dealing with this again? I don't want this meh with it. You put him in Sagittarius, you're going to have someone who thinks he knows divinity very well and has absolutely no interest in getting higher education and going long distance travels or pilgrimages. So he's going to be all, why do I have to do this again? I don't need to have a piece of paper to tell me that I'm a doctor. Yeah, that has potential to happen, and depending on where Sagittarius is placed. And Sagittarius, wherever it's placed too, shows that that's where you're going to be getting most of your higher education, most of your long distance travel, and your sense of religious philosophy. All that's going to come wherever Sagittarius is placed. So if you have it in your ascendant, that means in your head, the whole thing you're thinking about is bettering yourself and guiding others, and also trying to improve yourself. And I believe really that's all I got for Sagittarius. It's actually one of my other favorite signs, and funny enough, of all the people that I've met, I haven't met many Sagittarius people, but the ones that I have met, they've impacted my life in some positive way somehow. But either way, that is Sagittarius. The next sign is one of my other personal favorites. It's Capricorn. And that one is going to be more described in a way that a lot of people on the western side probably don't know. So you better be ready when Capricorn comes out, because you're probably going to be all like, I didn't know that about Capricorn. Trust me, I didn't know about a few things of Capricorn either. So, next sign to be Capricorn. Then remember down below if you would like me to, well, currently at the time of this recording, only one of my service things is approved and up. It is your Saturn evaluation. Is Lord Shani pleased with you, agitated at you? Does he want to whack you with a stick? Or does he just want to say, okay, good job, kid, keep going? No, don't stop working. Is he positive towards you? Is he in a good spot? And how you can help him out. Because if you help Saturn out, despite, how Really, he's not that intimidating. It's just gotta grit your teeth. Other than that, really, I'll see you guys on the next one.